Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and you are listening to Play It Forward on WUSB Stony Brook, 90.1 and 107.3 FM. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday!
Do you hear how many voices I have in the studio today? It's going to be a great show. But thank you, ladies. I'll introduce you in a minute. Alongside of me are the ladies of the Beading Hearts of Long Island. Today's episode honors this group of courageous women from Long Island who turned unimaginable loss into a mission of love and advocacy. We're joined by members of the Beading Hearts nonprofit, all of whom are grieving mothers united by the devastating impact of the overdose and poisoning crisis. Their voices remind us of the power of remembrance, awareness, and community healing. But for now, here's a closer look at what Play It Forward is all about. The Play It Forward Project is a nonprofit organization that raises awareness, educates, and advocates in the fight against the opioid crisis, focusing on prevention and recovery through peer-to-peer advocacy. On our show, we feature guests from the field of addiction, individuals in recovery, and more. We discuss illicit drugs, fentanyl, and substance use disorder, and around 2 p.m. we share some accessible resources, so tune in. We broadcast from Stony Brook University's radio station live every other Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., and we are now live streaming our previous episodes on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube under Play It Forward and on the YouTube channel, The Play It Forward Project. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at sbu.playitforward and also look for the Beading Hearts of Long Island. Send us some questions, and without further ado, let's introduce our guests. So I have amazing women that I actually just met some of you just a little while ago, but we've been in touch. And I am really, really excited that you're here with us today. Together, you have created handmade bracelets, right? In Beading Hearts. So everybody knows it's not bead, it's bead. Beading Hearts. Bracelets in memory of your children, spreading awareness, comfort, and connection. Thank you for being here. And on behalf of Play It Forward and WUSB, a warm welcome. So before we dive in, I'd like to ask each of you to share your name, and if you feel comfortable, your child's name as well. Just a quick introduction so everyone listening can hear the voices behind the stories. So, Linda, would you like to go first?
I'd love to. My name is Linda Newson, and my angel is Adam.
Oh, thank you for being here, Linda.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann, and my angel is Anthony, or as we call him, Ant.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karen, and my angel is Carrie Ann.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name is Roseanne. My angel is Andrea. We call her Drea.
Thank you.
My name is Jackie Bonacera, and my daughter is Alexis, and we call her Lexi.
Thank you.
Hi, my daughter is Melissa Miller, and my daughter is Rachel.
My name is Mary Ellen. My son is Jason, and we call him JJ.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Thank you, ladies. I am so sorry for your loss. We all have something in common, really something that we don't really want to have in common, right? But being here together is really important, and this is an important show. For those of you listening, I really hope you never have to be in our shoes. But please listen, because we have some really important things to share with you. So let's get right to it. Okay. All right, let's start. How would you like to begin? Want to tell us about the Beading Hearts, how it started?
I would love to. You ready?
Okay.
So, Adam struggled finding his mental wellness, and in that process, he was led into addiction. And in that time, in that space, he was looking to try to be an uplifter, because we know what addiction can do, and it's very dark. And so he started stringing beads with uplifting messages, and they included family and faith and love, and he gave them to people he cared about. But what was so, looking back now, what was so amazing about it is no one took it seriously. Yeah. Everybody wondered, why can't you do more with your life? Why just are you making beads? After he died, I started making beads the way he used to make beads for new angel moms I met along the way.
Wow.
And so Adam also always reminded us by his gaze to always look up. So I use that phrase, look up for Adam, look up for Vaughn, look up for Anthony, and that's how I met Mary Ann. She was new on her journey as well. So I used Adam's design, Adam's message to be an uplifter in the darkness of addiction, loss, and healing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that is how the Beading Hearts
That's how
became-
it started. Yeah.
Wow. And it's a national organization now?
It became national. It's pretty astounding. And now no one laughs about the beads anymore. No one ridicules about the beads. Something
Did
happened.
they did originally?
Oh, when Adam was alive, absolutely. Like, this is all you're going to do with your life.
Wow, little did they know.
Little did they know. Little did we know.
Wow.
So now it's become a way of us creating something through the memory of our children and being able to then give it outward.
Yeah.
So the healing begins with the actual picking and of the beads and sitting with people and sharing, sitting around the table. It's how we started, around my dining room table. Right?
That is amazing. It really is amazing because when you think about it, you're all doing something together. It's not so intense that you can't have conversations, right?
Exactly.
So it's really such an amazing thing. I just had an interview the other day and we were talking about how arts and making things is incredibly helpful if you're struggling. Mental health, recovery, addiction, whatever it is. Because it's keeping you busy, but in a calmer way.
Yeah.
Keeps your mind kind of off of it, but the best part is you're doing it all together.
Together. Yep.
And then what you create has purpose and meaning.
Yep.
I think that, and a message, no less. I wish the show was video today, because if you all could see in the studio on all the mics hanging are many of their works, and you'll see it on our social media later. But what are some of the messages what do they say?
Believe, dream. What else do they
Family,
say?
faith.
Trust.
Possibilities.
I am a miracle.
That's amazing.
Perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And that's another part, right? They come up with new things to say that people are like, Well, Mary Ellen, I'm wearing mine. Mary Ellen gave me gratitude, and that's a big one.
Melissa made that for you.
Really? Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
So I was really excited for today's show. As hard as this topic, I really commend you all for having the courage and the bravery to talk about this on live radio. It's so important. Because really what I would love to see happen, and I know from our discussions you would like to see this as well, eradicate the stigma.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, and let's just keep it going. Feel free to just jump in, but let's start with, what do you ladies do? And I do understand you go to correctional facilities, right? So tell us about a typical day, what it looks like with your work.
Well, in the beginning, I'm going to have to go back to the beginning. I lost my son, Anthony, in 2015, and back in 2015, there were not any kind of grieving programs. And of course, the stigmatism was huge back then.
Yeah.
And we were looked at, I was looked at like I was a mom that failed my child. It was my fault he turned to drugs. Why didn't I get him help? And I did get him help. I tried, and we all did. And unfortunately, in this group, every single one of us has tried something different.
Yeah.
And yet,
You'll do anything.
every single one of us are in this group.
Wow.
So back in 2015, I did find a program. It was called the Neighborhood House. And I went with another person I had met from another group. And in the Neighborhood House, they had arts and crafts. And Janet, who is the other co-founding member besides myself and Linda, Janet brought Linda in to do arts and crafts. Now, arts and crafts was not one of my favorite things. I pretty much hated arts and crafts. But when Linda came in and showed us what Adam used to make for his family, I was just hooked. And of course, my first beads were horrible. But I was like, we got to keep going. And so Janet is the one that introduced me to Linda. And then Linda was having her first Look Up, Rock On concert.
Really?
In memory of Adam. And we made beads. We were like a factory. There weren't many of us at all. And we just kept making them and making them and making them. And we were going to sell them at Look Up, Rock On. And then Linda brought up from the audience those who have lost their loved ones to addiction. And we were up on stage. And when I looked out over this stage and I saw everybody looking at us,
Riveted.
I kind of leaned over to Linda and said, oh my God, we're really something.
Really something.
Yeah.
Because everybody was looking at us. Yeah. And just to backtrack a little bit, when the beads came about, Linda made her first set of beads to Vaughn.
Actually, to Sean.
Oh, to Sean,
To
with
Sean,
Kathy.
Kathy.
Yes, Kathy's. Okay. But Janet
Yeah.
received the beads, put them on her rear view mirror, and they were swinging and swaying and clicking together. And she was like, oh my God, these are magical. We have to do something. And that's why Janet brought her to the neighborhood house, because she believed in them.
Wow.
So much. And then after Look Up, Rock On, I think it was maybe even a couple weeks, not even, Linda came to us and said, what do we think about the name The Beading Hearts?
Oh, wow.
And we were like, okay,
Perfection.
let's do it.
It came to me on Adam's birthday.
Okay.
I was doodling. It just came out. The Beading Hearts. We heal broken open hearts.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
One bead at a time.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I got angel bumps. Yeah, covered in angel bumps. I love that
And when
story.
you show up at a funeral or wake with these beads for a parents that just lost their child, the whole family is there, friends, and they don't know us from
Right.
And the embrace and that they give you, and the joy that they feel because they received these beads with their child's name on it, where everybody else doesn't want to talk about it, or
How
especially
powerful.
the way they died. It's magical for them and magical for us.
That's beautiful. That is such a win-win. Something as simple as a bracelet. It's
They hang over the rear view mirror.
okay, bracelet. But there's so much meaning
And it
behind
has their child's name on it.
Wow.
Right. So, and that's the first thing that somebody gets. So,
Oh,
I don't want to jump in on
you
it.
go.
So, I had lost my daughter, and I didn't want to tell everybody she died of an overdose because I was afraid of
Yeah.
disparaging her. That people would think she was a bad person or something, and she wasn't.
Family.
So, I stuffed it down for a while, and I got something in the mail that was a set of beads that said, "Look up for Rachel," and I just thought, like, a stranger,
how
a
touching.
stranger made these for my daughter in honor of my daughter. I can honor my daughter that died of an overdose. I didn't even know I could.
Yeah.
So it was so beautiful and touching to get something, and it was signed from another mother, and so the way that made me feel like I wasn't alone. I'm not
Wow.
alone. There are strangers that are kind and want to know your story and want to hear about it when the rest of the world just doesn't. So it was a
You
real
gave
safe
me
haven.
angel bumps. I love that. I love that little. I used to say goosebumps, but that's going to be the new word. That is so beautiful. Wow.
And now we want to do it for other moms.
Yeah.
And really, that's how our therapy is people that are in recovery, we're in recovery from losing our kids, so it works both ways. It's
Yeah.
very symbiotic when we go to a rehab or a facility, and we give them something. We tell our stories and we give them something, and they give us something in return that is invaluable and means so much to us, and they really do get something from us coming there. And they tell us, and it's really a blessing to be able to know that we affect people And for my own recovery,
Yeah.
you know, making the beads and going to all these things of service, I wouldn't probably have known how to do any of that until I met the Beading Hearts.
Oh.
So, you know, there's so many levels that you can heal through them. But I think we're basically about healing, really.
For sure.
Awareness,
for
awareness,
each other,
but-
right?
Yeah, and then, you know, you meet people that are you're just going to be the closest with for the rest of your life.
And we always wish that when we speak to people in recovery, that this could have been something that our children could have
yes.
experienced.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are there in honor of our children to let them know that they matter, that they're really important, they matter to the world, and they have a future ahead of them. It's just something that if we could have had that for our children, it would have meant so much. And to them too, because they don't feel like they're worthy.
I know how you feel in that regard because the first time I ever saw it, you all.
Brought Allison to Hope House at one of our meetings.
Well, no, I was bringing chicken soup to someone, and we ran into each other.
No, this was the meeting where Matthew was there and we met. And we met at the meeting.
Yes.
And it was the first time that Allison got to experience and be part of the meeting with us.
Yeah.
So Jason, my son, was at Hope House for many years, and he has passed away in 2022. I met the Beading Hearts a year later, and I'm thankful because I had no one to go through that healing and talk about this with, because no other person understands unless you've gone through it. Yeah. So when I met Allison through Kurt, your old co-chair, we got together and I said, we're going to the Hope House, can you come? And she said yes. So we met, and she was a part of our small group at that time, and the men just opened up, and it was just an awesome experience, and the beads are magic. So each man that pulled out their bead, it had such a great meaning to them. So Allison got to experience that one-on-one with us.
And I have to tell you, I was so blown away because it was just so interesting to see all these young men who probably looked at you all like how they would look at their own mothers.
You said it somewhere, like, you remind me of
exactly
my mom.
Yeah.
And that's such a compliment, right, to us that, okay, you're looking at
They're gonna
with that
really
reverence, right, and that, again.
But they're seeing it from another mom. You know, I think it's just human nature that with your own parents, you can just always beat up on them all the time.
That's so true.
But when you see another mom talk, it's weirdly different how it just changes. But I saw that firsthand. Every single young man that got up and they looked at their keychain and they had a message, and it was so beautiful how each one of them really took it to heart, and you could just see it in their face. I was moved to tears.
That's the best part. It's that give and
it wasn't a sad crying.
No.
It was actually hopeful crying.
Yes.
You know, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yes, there's a difference.
A lot of times when we go to jail, because we go to Yaphank, and we also go to Nassau. But in Yaphank, we're allowed to have a bigger group that goes.
Wow.
And we talk about our children, and it is amazing, especially with the men, how after the meeting, they're gone to the phone and they're calling up their mom.
They're calling their mom.
And they want to hear from their mom. And a lot of them will turn around and tell us, we never thought about it from your situation, because we tell them that it's not an individual disease. It is a family disease. And however you think that your family might have washed their hands from you, that's not it, because somebody is going to grieve if you're not here.
Yeah.
You are loved, and we also tell them that when you come out, look us up.
Yeah.
We're not here just to visit and to leave. We are in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And we will try to help you. And one of the ways other members have started their own nonprofits to help out One is Lori Pinka. She does a CrossFit program. And another one of our members happens to be right here. And she started in her daughter's name a nonprofit called Navigating the Journey. And I'm going to have Karen tell you about it.
Tell us about that.
So one of the biggest struggles that I find with people who are going into recovery or on their journey is they can't get to where they need to be. They can't get to recovery meetings. They can't get to AA.
They're
can't
limited.
Get to NA.
Yeah.
And the only people in the beginning that are around in most cases are the people that they used to use with.
Yeah.
Old
And they
friends.
can't get in touch with them.
You can ask them for a ride, but as we're going for a ride, let's just stop. Oh, do you remember we used to go here? And then the cycle starts all over again.
Oh, yeah.
So we started Navigating the Journey to try and help them with rides to where they need to be.
Wow.
And get them where they need to be. And we've met some really amazing people in jail and in the rehabs, and we stay in touch with them, and
Really?
we've been helping them. We give rides for people to get to CrossFit because Lori Pinka found out that CrossFit releases the same endorphins as getting high. So you're
Really?
swapping
What,
one for
CrossFit in
another.
particular?
CrossFit in particular.
The community.
The community, she goes by family, faith, and fitness. The 3 F's.
Wow.
And if you combine the 3 F's, you have a better success rate.
That is amazing.
And Karen just told me today of a beautiful story that Navigating the Journey has helped a young man and make it to a place. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you share a story?
Sure. So, one of the women that are in recovery that the Beading Hearts met when she was incarcerated and we stay in touch with, reached out to me and said she had a friend that needed to get to Memphis, Tennessee,
Wow.
so that he could see his mom, who is unwell, and then he was able to get a spot in long-term recovery in Arkansas, which is right over the border.
Oh, wow.
And so last night, I was on the phone with him, and we were able to get him a ticket on a bus. He
Really?
called somebody else in recovery that he knows,
Oh,
and
wow.
she took him to the train station, and he made it. He texted on the way here to let me know that he made it.
And this just
and
happened
he's
last
doing
night?
it.
Oh, that is so amazing. That is beautiful. Thank you for what you do. I really love that. My brother was incarcerated, and he actually got worse after that. So I think it's really quite amazing that what you're doing. I wish those kind of things were available to him. I have visited him there, so I actually know what it's like to go there. And it's not easy, and so I give you a lot of props. Can you share any more stories like that? Because that's really pretty amazing.
My story's full circle. My son passed, and his girlfriend at the time had a baby after he passed. We found out. She was pregnant, and she ended up having to go to jail, and I had custody of the baby for a year, and she met all the women from the Beading Hearts while she was
In jail?
at Yaphank. And we didn't know at the time because everything was, going on Zoom and stuff. And she's doing well. She's doing great, and she loves all the moms. And this program helped, as well as the Yaphank program. It's wonderful resources. So
That's a
success
God
story.
wink. Wow. Thanks, Mary Ellen.
We wanted to give you these from the Beading Hearts, just as a thank you for having us on today, and for you. So if you want to open them up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, wow. I wish everyone could see this. So I'm opening up something from these wonderful women. Oh. All right. Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
So you can add those to your...
Oh, my goodness. All right, so I'm holding I'm gonna put this in my car. Oh my gosh. It says, "Look up for Stephen." Oh, thank you so much. This is hard because my brother passed 8 years ago, and it was just this past Wednesday. And I have to share this with everyone because it has to do with all these wonderful women. So before we had the show, we all met, and we had a Zoom call, and I said, before the show starts, please send me photos, as many photos as you like. And oh my God, did they send me photos? They sent me over 170 photos. And I was just, oh boy, what am I going to do? So I decided to quickly put it into a video. And I was trying to think of a song to put it to. And the first thing that came to my mind was Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton. And I did this video on Wednesday, when my brother's anniversary. It was so weirdly healing. And because, I was telling my husband, I'm like, this is weird because, we all know that being part of this, fighting for this cause, we oftentimes feel helpless because there's so many things there, the laws, we're all fighting to get laws changed. We're all fighting to get everyone to listen. We're fighting to get people to do Narcan training. And sometimes it's just so frustrating. But something as simple as looking at all your beautiful photos that particular day and putting that together was so weirdly healing for me because I felt like I was actually doing something. And it was just, so I want to thank you all. And this is very special to me that it was actually this week, and it was an honor to do that. And I'm so deeply sorry for the loss of all your kids. I hope everyone that's listening really, really, talk to your kids. What would be the one thing you'd want to shout out to parents of today?
If you have problems, a lot of people, I think, self-medicate. They suffer from depression, anxiety, things like that. I believe my daughter did.
Yeah.
And talk to somebody. You have to talk to somebody. Talking about it, saying it, that's the only way you get past it, because when you stuff it down, it hurts and pain is in you, and then you try to medicate it. So I would just say talk to somebody. If you have a big secret that you're holding on to, you think you can handle, or something happened to you in life that you feel bad about, talk to somebody about it.
Talk to somebody. There are people out there that care. I'm looking at a whole bunch of them right now.
I'd like to share a little bit about the healing that we do.
I would love that.
Very, very big part of my recovery and learning how to live in this world and still be able to connect with my child and to other people's children that have passed and be able to live a joyful life, to still be able to do that, to smile again. When something like this devastating happens in your life, you feel like you may not be able to get up out of your bed to leave your house, to go anywhere. And there was no Beading Hearts when I lost my daughter Andrea in 2015 as well. So I began my journey to learn about different healing modalities, and one of them was Reiki. So Reiki is a beautiful healing modality that's from 2,000 years ago. In Japanese healing, it was about learning how to relax and being peaceful in your own body. So I actually started doing classes and learning how to be a Reiki healer. And when Linda began inviting us into her home and gave us a beautiful angel hug, which, if you've never had a hug from Linda,
Best hug
I actually experienced one in the parking lot.
Best hug of your life.
I get it.
So it's about that feeling of being comforted and loved and cared for. So we share all of that. She has brought to us sound healing and all kinds of different ways, meditations, and I have learned how to do meditations and share them with people in my home and in our group. I have learned how to share Reiki healing with people, with all of our moms and family members.
That's amazing.
And so we bring that into our group and share any way we can to be able to heal and find peace and love and joy in our lives again. And most of us would love to just stay up in the clouds and be with our child or our loved one. But we're here for a reason.
Yeah.
We're here to for a purpose in our lives. So we try to make the best we can of that, and we hold each other up. We hold each other's hands. When one of us doesn't feel like we can make it, we know that we have someone that's going to hold us up and help us through it.
That's amazing.
So it is just the most beautiful, beautiful way to learn and grow and live and get through any part that's bad in your life. When we talk about the mental illness, and my daughter too suffered from great anxiety and depression, and how these healing modalities can maybe be a medicine besides the medical field, because we all know that we have to balance that
100%.
with medicine, with the medical field, and with these other healings. So it's just an amazing way to live in this world.
I love that you brought that up, because medicine is important, but I really do believe that these alternative therapies like Reiki, meditation, yoga, sound therapy, I have come to be a true believer that not only those things actually work, but I think that more younger people are embracing it.
I see that.
I love that, because this is being proactive, right? So you're talking about those types of things for healing grief, right, or the pain that you're in, but doing that on maybe regularly, you could probably be a little bit more ahead of the game.
I started it for myself.
Okay.
Healing myself. Now I share it with my grandchildren too.
Really?
Because a lot of the young people, even in middle school, I know they're suffering from great anxiety.
Yeah.
And from whatever is happening in the world today. So.
And kids know more than
Way
what
too much.
we experience,
They do.
right?
They do.
So that's something we talk a lot about on the show. What do you think is the appropriate age to start talking about this? It's not a trick question, because I just really want to.
I would say like junior high, even late elementary.
No, I would say
like 11.
late elementary.
Definitely, but I think age appropriate, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's all about normalizing it. And as much as parents don't want to talk about drugs like to their 5-year-old, but like in my
But
case,
there's other things to talk about when they're
Sure.
5.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't take medicine from anybody, that kind of
And
thing.
also, how are you feeling?
Right.
Right.
What's your emotional
Right, check
chart?
in.
Check in.
check in. Yeah, that's
and
it. That's
acknowledge that, and find a way to balance that. Find a way to regulate yourself.
Right.
Instead of going outward, we can teach them from a young age, as you are with your grandchildren.
Yes,
to
that-
regulate.
Yeah. And they ask questions.
And they ask
That's
questions.
really good
They
too.
ask amazing questions. My 5-year-old, granddaughter, the other day, because I have a locket that I keep my daughter's picture in, and she opens it up every time I see her, and who is that? And I'd say, you know who that is? It's Aunt Treya. Oh, how did she die? That's like
5.
right there,
5 years old.
right there. On
Wow.
the table.
So she's curious,
Yes.
and she knows that she's no longer here.
Yes.
And do you think it's okay to tell a 5-year-old how she passed away?
So how
this
would
is
how
you
do
say?
you say
what
that?
words would
This
we
is
use?
what she took too much medicine, and that's why we have to be so careful.
That's
good.
okay. So that's
Medicine
an
that we-
example
that's
of age
That's
appropriate.
what I told my grandson too, my daughter's baby.
Wow.
He asked me, how did my mommy die? Now that he did 5 when he was 5. He just turned 6. And I said something similar to that. That just the medicine that she took didn't agree with her body. Because
So-
they can't tell him.
Right.
Right.
Because that's too
You don't want to
confusing.
put his mother in a light
In a bad
either like that.
Wow. I mean,
So what you're hearing also, and the part I love about us so much, is that our healing is really real. It's not just saying it. It's
Yeah.
not just flicking a light switch and saying, I'm good now. It doesn't
It's
work
work.
that way.
It's work.
It's we're doing the work. We're doing the process. We're doing it together. We're holding each other up along the way, bringing in new modalities.
Yeah.
Really going in, and this is the outcome.
Yeah.
When the healing comes from within, we could share it out.
and it shows.
And it shows.
I really can
and
see
you
it.
can feel it.
I can feel it for sure. And you brought. I think it was you that brought up. You referenced your daughter, but you also referenced yourself in recovery. And obviously, you're not in recovery for substance use. You're in recovery for grief, right? And I think that's amazing And that's important to put yourself in that mode, because one, it almost takes the pressure off. Like, it allows you, I'm feeling like this way for a reason.
Right. It doesn't put a time limit on it.
Exactly.
Because there is no time limit on grief.
But it also just makes you feel like you're not alone.
Yes. I
That's
was
the
going to
thing,
say that
it's
we
the-
could share how we
Right.
feel with each other, where in our regular world, people don't want to talk about our dead child, or they just, even family, it's just, where here, she talked about joy. I couldn't have fun doing anything because I'm hurting. So you have that mask on all the time while you're around people and going to places. When I'm with these ladies, I could dance, have a great time.
Right.
I could fall on the floor and cry, get back up and dance, and nobody's saying to me, "Oh, what's the matter? You okay?" Or, "Oh, she's all better now." I'm not hearing that. We understand.
Yeah.
And this is the place where I can feel joy again. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, I get exactly what you're saying. That's what I was saying on the way here. I kind of insulate the people I hang around with that are comfortable with me talking about my dead daughter, but in general it makes people feel uncomfortable, and they maybe not consciously, but they naturally shy away. You
Or
can
say
even
something
sometimes see them in the supermarket, like, avoid you.
Yeah. Oh,
and
she's
then
going to go on and on and on.
It's so hurtful to
Yeah.
us that, because and the other thing is nobody wants to say their name because they're afraid they'll upset you. But I can tell you the nicest thing anybody said to me when Rachel first passed away was, "Tell me about your daughter." And I was so taken back. Like, I was like, I think that's the nicest thing anybody's asked me.
People don't know what to say, but it's,
And you
why
can
is
say
it
that to
any
others,
different? Well, how about this? Let's go around. Tell us a wonderful thing about your kid.
Oh, a wonderful thing.
Yeah, something happy.
I love that. Adam was a dreamer. His eyes, his gaze was always upward. He was fascinated with the night sky and the universe. And
Look up.
look up.
I love that.
Look up.
Well, you forgot. You never told the story.
Oh, I love when you tell the story.
Okay. One of the stories that also hooked me when Linda came and taught us how to do the beads way back when in the beginning, she would tell a story about Adam and their family and how they would all go for a walk. Now, a lot of times when people walk, I'm one of those because I'm a klutz. I will kind of look where I'm stepping. But Adam would sit there and say to his family, "Why is everybody looking down? Why aren't you looking up? There is so much you're going to miss.
Wow.
See the wonder, see the sky, see the birds, the trees.
Sounds very
Look up." And that is why Linda started with the beads, making them with the words, "Look up for," and then our angels. Because Adam always wanted everybody to look up. And it's very, very important. I don't know why you don't say that. I'm always telling the story. But
You're going to have to get tattoos, right?
well, we all have tattoos,
Oh, you did? You do? Okay. We do.
We all have our tattoos for our angels.
Wow.
So I will tell you a little bit about my aunt. He has a son that when Aunt passed, his son was 4 years old. His son now is 13.
Wow.
He is close to 6 foot. He looks like his father. He acts like his father. Sometimes you want to throttle him like his father. But he definitely is a joy to have. And I know that a lot of the other moms, we don't always have a peace. But having my grandson is still not the same as having my son. My son's not going to walk through the door anymore. My son is forever 25. All his friends have gone on, married, families, our children are kind of stuck, and there aren't any more pictures.
Yeah.
And Anthony was such a loyal friend. And kind of like what the Beading Hearts have become. If I wanted to call somebody up at 3 o'clock in the morning crying hysterical, somebody's going to pick it up, somebody's going to get in that car, and somebody's going to drive to my house. This is our tribe. Anthony was the same with his friends. He was very loyal, and he was a jokester. One of the stories I kind of like telling about Ant, because especially when I go to jail, Ant was in a sober home, and he was there they were just collecting his social services. So I would buy him groceries, and somebody was basically taking his groceries, and they were drinking his milk. So my son decided to pee in his milk.
Oh.
So he would get that. So he really...
Oh, goodness.
This is the jokester. He was always one to make everybody laugh. He was there to always be with people. And, he was my little blue-eyed baby boy.
He's very handsome.
That's my son, yes. So...
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Carrie Ann was beautiful. She meant the world to us, and she had a big heart, and she had 2 sisters that looked up to her and miss her a lot. And she also had a son, and she loved him so much. And I know that she's watching over him now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I believe that. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, my daughter Drea, very beautiful. All our children were so beautiful and so smart. And she loved her family. She loved her nieces and nephews. She loved playing with them. She loved family parties. She was just so excited whenever we were having a family get-together. And she had a very giving heart. She would give you anything. If you asked her for something, she would give it to you. And when she was in rehabs, she would crochet scarves for the other people that were in rehabs with her.
Really?
Yeah, she was, I never knew. I really didn't know until afterwards. And the other thing I found out not till afterwards is that she had saved one of her friends' lives, and they were ODing, and she gave them CPR.
Really?
And I found this out the wake that this person came up to me and told me about this. So that was something beautiful about her. Now she and I are a team. She guides me. Yeah. She helps me. She teaches me. She's the mom now, and I'm the kid. She helps me to know the right thing to do at the right time, and we heal together.
Oh, goodness. That's beautiful.
So I'm blessed.
She's beautiful.
I'm blessed.
Thank you. Sorry for your loss.
So my Lex was she was the jokester. She was the one that lit up a room, turned heads, funny, loving, always smiling. She got she had a rough life, but she ended up in such a beautiful life and had this baby that she said I couldn't imagine. I never imagined how much you could love something. She loved that baby. She was an amazing singer. She was recording music.
So your daughter was the singer. I was wondering who the singer was.
Yeah, she was the singer. She's been singing since she's 2-3 years old. Always on stage, always got the lead roles, and she went to Catholic school and she did it all. She would try anything, jump off a building, you name it. She had no fear. And
she was a Spitfire.
She was a Spitfire. Yes. Yeah. Not like her mother or anything. So and her baby is her to a T. It's almost like I don't know where Patrick came from, the father, because he is her to a T.
Really?
In every every inch of him, everything comes out of his mouth. It's pretty wild. I kind of feel like when I have him that, she's running around.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah. So she will be forever 28, and I'm so mad because I used to say to her, "Get out of the sun. You're gonna care when you're my age," and now she'll never be my age. But I'm at a point too, like Rosie, where I'm not so sad anymore that she's gone. I am in the physical world,
right?
But I really feel like she's with me all the time. Strange things happen, and you just can't make this crap up.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's
how
real.
I really feel she's just with me all the time.
That's so beautiful. I got that sign the other night. So all of you have grandchildren from.
Not all of
Not
us.
all.
I'm sorry.
Not all.
Not
sorry.
from my daughter.
Okay.
Right. But it's very telling, very showing that yes, there
Us
are
three do, yeah.
the three of
Oh,
you.
four.
Yeah.
Four.
Oh, four.
Yeah.
A lot of other moms in our group, envy that, and it's bittersweet. I'm so grateful that I have him, but yet, that thought of how do you grow up without a mother, like that it's just so sad. And a lot of the other moms don't have that, maybe because the other person was in addiction or not in addiction, so they ran like hell when they died or whatever. And it's really, for me, I feel bad for those moms, but I am so grateful that I have him. I really am.
Yeah.
Like beyond.
Wow. Thank you.
This is Rachel. I know you guys on the air can't see. Rachel was 20.
She's beautiful.
She was 23 when she passed away. So I do not have a grandson
I'm
or
sorry.
granddaughter, and I would give anything to just get a little piece of her, just to hold on to. I still have her dog, who she loved dearly, and who is now, I don't want to say the age. She's 11, but I keep telling everybody she's 7 because I can't lose her. My daughter was just smart, funny. She honestly was the strongest person I've ever met in my life. I never thought that anything would kill her. She worked since she was 14. She was in school, and she had a lot of stuff that she wanted to do. So I miss her greatly. She's, she was 23, she was back loving her mom, and we were best friends.
Yeah, that's when you get them back, right?
Yep.
The girls.
And they're always come if you're, because you're paying. So.
Yeah.
But she, Rachel had a big heart. She was just, she came out big. She was loud. Her love was big. Everything about her was
lived
big
life.
and loving. She lived life. She was an old soul. I didn't really know what that meant until she passed. One of the things about her passing that affected me is I didn't know my soul, honestly, before my daughter passed. I really didn't know anything about it. But since her passing, and now that I'm doing a little better, I'm all about connecting. I just want to connect with her, whether it's through meditation or a medium or a psychic or whatever it is, or myself, or, going out in nature. I just want to connect with her now.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. And I do a lot. I'm very fortunate that I am able to, because I used to be very jealous when I couldn't and everybody else was, and they were seeing the purple, they were seeing this, and I didn't see it. And so I practice a lot, and I am able to connect.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually so important, because I experienced that too. And when you get those little signs, you actually have a choice. You can believe it, or you can, you don't have to. And I made the decision, I'm going to believe this. And the more I did that, then I didn't have to force myself anymore. I really did become a believer.
So that's the magic. Every single person at this table will say the same thing. Once you start accepting it and really accepting it, and thanking and being grateful, they start coming.
It starts coming, right?
Starts coming.
Who are we to say, just because we don't see it, it's not there? I mean,
that's what faith is.
That is exactly
faith is
what
believing and seeing something, like something you can't see.
Yeah.
But you know it's there. You
feel
it in your heart.
So your kids are they're with us
Right here.
right here, and so proud of everything you're doing. And I mean, I think that is really a beautiful thing, and I'm sure knowing that keeps you going, right?
Yes.
You know?
Linda, we didn't mention Zoom. Maybe you want to say a little bit about
Okay,
that.
Yeah, we actually
after Mary Ellen.
we do have Mary Ellen, but we have about 4 minutes. So.
Okay.
Quick. JJ was very handsome. He was funny. He was like my sidekick because we grew up together. He was a loving brother. He loved his brother Ty, and he played soccer. He was a goalkeeper, and that was his passion. I know I enjoy when I hear from the guys from Hope House when they reach out to me and tell funny stories, or his cousin, they'll send me videos of how funny he was and all the different things he did. I miss him terribly. I know he's around us. He passed away in our home, and he's watching over that baby, Rain. He really is.
Yeah.
And I know
Kurt
he
always
connects
talks
me with a lot of people because a lot of the moms knew him, like their children knew him.
Yeah.
And it's 6 degrees of separation in this world. It's bigger than we think, but smaller.
Everybody believe in those God wings and believe in the angels.
And the angel bumps.
Yes, the angel bumps. Wow. So before we wrap up, what message would you like to give our listeners? What do you want them to take away from today's show?
You're not alone.
You're not alone, and it's all about love.
Yes.
It's all about love.
And if there's anyone struggling, they matter. They should reach out. There's so many resources. Please.
And
we
someone
don't
cares.
want
Yes,
more
we
moms
care.
to come into our trial.
Yeah, reach out to us too. If you really don't have anybody, you can reach out to us.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that care, and it has been such an honor to sit here with you all. And I'm very grateful for your time and your courage and your bravery and sharing what is so hard. You know, thank you.
Thank you for this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you so much. We're grateful.
Yeah. You ladies are amazing. And I hope Izzy found that song, because we're going to play a very special song. We do a few resources before we wrap it up. But if you are struggling with mental health or substance use, you're not alone. SAMHSA offers services and resources for substance use disorder. 1-800-662-HELP, or text HELP for the number 4U for support. SAMHSA also has 24/7 info service at 1-800-487-4889. And LICAD, Long Island Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, offers support and guidance at 631-979-1700. You can find more information at LICAD.org. And remember, your journey to healing and recovery can start. And the name of the song that we are going to be playing is an original song.
It is.
The Beading
Hearts.
The Beading Hearts. Thank you again, ladies. Where can they find you?
TheBeadingHearts.org.
Okay.
Phone number is 631-278-1914.
Okay.
Facebook also.
Facebook.
The Beading Hearts LI. It's an invitation to join us. A couple of questions.
Okay.
It's a private group.
Okay.
And we meet on Zoom every Wednesday, so no matter where you're living, you can
Really?
come and meet us. Yes.
Okay.
And a few times a month we get together in person.
Wonderful. When I post the information about it, I'll have the show editing over the weekend. We'll put it on YouTube, and I will provide everyone with that information. Thank you again, everybody. And on behalf of Play It Forward, I think we are not sure what song is playing, so perhaps we will play Tears from Heaven by Eric Clapton, the one that we played with the beautiful pictures.
Beautiful song.
I will actually include the song. You guys don't have copyright issues, right? For it?
No.
So that's the song we're going to play at the end of the episode that will be on YouTube and Spotify. So how about that?
Okay.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. And follow us on sbu.playitforward on Instagram, and we hope our message reaches somebody. So for now and always, keep playing it forward. All right. That was a good one. Most guests I ever interviewed. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Wizzy. This is Allison of the Play It Forward Project. Tune into our next show, Friday, June 11th at 1 p.m. we will have a very special guest. Again, thank you to WUSB, Andrew, and the ladies of the Beading Hearts, Long Island. You are listening to WUSB Stony Brook, 90.1 and 107.3 FM. Be well, everyone, and please look out for one another.
In the dark, we wandered lost and alone. Grief so heavy like a heart made of stone. Then with our hands we found a new start, beating hearts, so the pieces of our hearts. Look up now, we're together in the light. Angels guide us through the darkest night. Beating hearts, we create what's pure, inspiring words. Our love endures, colors and beads in every shade. With every thread a new hope is made, whispering softly through each prayer. Angels reminding that they're there. Look up now, we're together in the light. Angels guide us through the darkest night. Beating hearts, we create what's pure, inspiring words. Our love endures. Though sorrow tried to tear us apart, beating hearts brought us back to the start. In every keychain a love song is sung for the angels who are forever young. Tear us apart, beating hearts brought us back to the start. In every keychain a love song is sung for the angels who are forever young.